All right, so recap. Hi, I'm Lucas. Real excited to be back. Did this again. Sorry, it has been a pleasure moving houses, so I'm a little out of it. Once again, welcome back to Rise of Nyarlathotep, episode 7. We're going to have some crazy times, so hopping right into this. I am Lucas, your GM, pronouns he, him. So while I'm doing this, and my lovely players are just getting ready for me to toss them to the wolves, I will talk about a few things that are going on for Rise. So as you notice, we have that little pink fun thing, that the die, those what those are called while I'm clicking things. So we are actually being sponsored by Roll20. So fantastic. You're all probably thinking, Roll20, what's that? As I'm clicking more things to buy time. Roll20 is a program that you can use to play your tabletop games online with your friends. Hop on over to roll20.com. You can check out. They got super sweet maps that you can actually purchase, full campaigns and everything on there. We're actually using a lot of a Roll20 campaign for Rise of Tiamat that I completely gutted. And that's how we do all our map stuff. So with everybody being stuck at home, Roll20's actually been super rad. Slip on down to Ian.
So if you look below my picture on the little thing, you will see my name, Ian, my pronouns, he, they, and you will see a nice little picture of Weary brought to you by Askren, and Weary's pronouns are they, them. Weary is a tiefling artificer.
Meg.
Hi, I'm Meg. Pronouns are... Shit, what the fuck are they? She, they. Sorry. Pronouns are she, they. I play the little godling druid that we all know and love that likes to ramble. Alora, her pronouns, or their pronouns are also they, them. I'm not caught up, so we're going to see what happens. Yay! Bye.
Jess.
Hi, I'm Jess. Pronouns she, her. I'm playing Glyph, the rogue, who is totally a rogue and real good at it. And their pronouns are they, them. And ready to roll.
Eve.
Hi, Eve Smith, PK37, the Goblin Enhanced, and both of us are she, her.
Jason.
Hey, I'm Jason, and I'm playing Kratok, the simply superb Flammarian Bard. We both go by he, him.
Gonna open this beer early today. So let's go through a lovely recap. So just start this off. Music and sound effects, it's all coming from Sirenscape, because I like to forget that one as well. I actually have a sticky note here to tell me what to say, because I'm an adult. So last time on Dungeons and Dragons, our heroes had decided that they were going to travel along with this caravan and get hired on, because makes sense. So they all hopped onto this caravan that had a lot of cultist wagons going on. Seemed like a good idea. It actually was, because it was literally their job to investigate the cultists. Traveling along with these people, they decided to stop one night, had a quick chat with Morgus by a tree. It freaked them out, but the mask is gone, and they were told not to touch the moon. After that, they saw that all the cultist wagons were around in a strange circle. They couldn't hear anything going on. Weary gave Kratok some drugs. Kratok could see sounds. Kratok went over to check out what was going on and crawled underneath after seeing this black dome surrounding the caravans and saw that there was a ritual going on. Our one and only Teresa was the star of the show. What was this show, you might ask? Dwarven 2.0. Oh, wow, I rhymed. So they checked this out, watched Teresa turn into a strange Jinji Ito creature that was just stretching real thin, trying to find its spot in the mountain. And unfortunately, Kratok was still pretty high and was heard underneath that wagon. The creature quickly called out Kratok, and the cultists all started swarming. Everyone ran in there, Glyph did a really weird metallic scream, and people started killing things. Teresa monster fell. There was suddenly a giant 15-foot monster. Kratok made it laugh really hard. Everyone went, what the hell's going on? Weary decided to do some ventriloquism, and everyone got on a wagon and ran. Wow. What a busy session. So, let's actually take ourselves a few steps back. I have all this like radio energy because I've been listening to a radio in a U-Haul van for 5 days. So I'm sorry, you're all here for this. Alora, you have been having a lovely time talking to the people in this caravan. You've been bouncing around. You just kind of left your crew to do their thing because you figured maybe you can get some inside scoop on what's going on. You learned a few things like the cultists want to go to Greenest, and like this caravan's on its way to Elusio, and you're going to go through Transmudia, and you're just having a pretty good time. First night rolls around. You saw some cows that walk on their hind legs, and they were way too cool to hang out with. So, you took that in stride, and something strange actually starts to happen for you. You are looking down at, you're handed this bowl of soup. You see all your companions are just milling about, kind of doing their own thing, when you start to see something in this soup. Whoa. You see that there is a being behind you. You can hear this like creaking sound, like sticks and stuff are being stepped on behind you. And you're looking in this reflection of your soup, and there's this person. They have this beautiful flowing hair. They're wearing these really decorated robes, but they don't have a face. What would you like to do?
I kind of just look. I'm very confused. Both Meg and Alora. I. What do I want to do? I'm gonna kind of just glance over my shoulder and be like, and then look back down into my soup, and then
no one's there when you look over your shoulder, but when you look back at your soup, the person's closer. They're almost right over your shoulder. You can feel a little tickle on your neck from their hair, like sort of falling down towards you. But when you look back, no one's there.
I'm gonna drink my soup.
You drink this soup, and it's good. You're a little unnerved. You're just trying to take it like this isn't happening.
Yeah.
I'm totally okay. You put your soup down, and like everyone's still talking. You're trying to pay attention to the conversation that's happening around this campfire, and you just are having a hell of a time. And you then see the one wagon that you and your companions were traveling around starts rustling around inside of it. No one else seems to be paying any attention to this at all. There's a number of other caravan goers here. The 3 sad halflings. You see there's a little walrus person named Horse Person. There's a dwarf with gemstones in her skin that's wandering around. You see all sorts of people around this camp, but nobody seems to notice your wagon as like something's moving around inside, pressing against the tarp covering.
Am I by myself? I don't know if I missed that. Am I by myself or am I with
there's
like
a number
the
of
crew?
other people that are like traveling along with you, but you're not with any of your companions right now. You don't see them.
I'm just gonna kind of scooch like a couple of inches next to the person closest to me, like trying to be like nonchalantly just like, and just try and be as close to somebody as I can in case something happens. And I'm just like,
so you're really sidled up close to one of the sad halflings, the sadling, and you're pretty close to them, and they look over at you like, oh, okay, whatever, maybe Alora's cold. And so they're by this fire, and then you could just feel it, this like these hands, they're cold, they're clammy. You feel them just like going along, almost drawing an outline of your face where their face is missing.
I'm gonna like grab the sadling's hand, like just out of fear, and just be like, please tell me you see something behind me.
Huh? No.
Shit.
Is
And
there...
I'm gonna like take off and run and try and figure out where TK is at.
So you see that there's the circle of wagons. You see there is like some woods that are around the area. You did see TK and Glyph. They were by the wagon that you were in, and they might have went into the woods. You weren't paying a whole lot of attention, but it did kind of look like they went to the woods.
Okay. Then I'll go where they went, I guess.
You rush. You're hauling ass. You don't want to be anywhere near that fire. You see there's this tiny smoldering candle. Just little whiffs of smoke are coming off of it. You see there's some half-eaten food that's in this area, and you once again start feeling, you feel that you're being watched. You know there's someone around here, and you can hear now this voice saying, "Where is it?"
Where is what? I'm like out of breath, like running, trying to like keep going.
Where did they put it?
But what?
And suddenly you hear what can only be described as a loud explosion and laughter, as you hear the sounds of breaking wood and people screaming from back in the camp. And no longer do you feel that presence.
TK? Weary, Glyph? Shit. Katak? Anybody?
Silence, aside from the chorus of screams.
I'm gonna just it's kind of like very like cartoon anime-ish where like I skid and like pivot and turn back towards the screams.
So you're rushing back, and you stop for a second just at the edge of this clearing as you see this 15-foot tall monster. Its head is this one singular long tentacle whipping back and forth. It opens up with this large gaping maw. You see, and when it swings its hands around, there are large eyes on the center of its palms. You see your four companions running towards their wagon as they kind of like lock eyes with you for a second and then just keep running to the wagon with Weary just in the last place. And they seem to all be rushing towards your spider horses.
I'm gonna like dog whistle for Duchess, who's my spider horse. I'm just gonna like dog whistle for her, and like as we're like running very like cowboy western, just like yeet myself onto her and then just run.
Okay,
to catch up.
I want you to do me like a dexterity check. Let's see how.
Yeah. All right, 18.
So you do this. You're so trained in jumping on spider horses, these magnificent arachnid steeds, and you just like hop right onto this thing as this thing's taking off. And the rest of you all see Alora is like coming towards you on this 8-legged horse creature, and all of you are gearing up. A couple of your spider horses are still attached to this wagon, and like your other spider horses, you're grabbing them, and you're all ready to go. And I need to know who's driving the wagon, and then I need initiative.
think we said Big D was hooked to the wagon.
Mm.
They're the biggest
I
spider
guess that
Big
verse.
means, yeah, I guess that means Weary is driving the wagon.
Okay.
I think well, let me know what you want to do first, but I do want to make sure that I let TK know we have a passenger and to not murder them because they're there for us to get information. But I don't know how to like. We'll play it out, I'm sure, but like I want to make sure I make a note of that before anything goes off the rails.
Okay.
I mean, TK is not getting into the wagon right now,
Oh,
so that's not a problem. She's running straight for Princess.
All right, cool. So I
All
guess
right.
I'm driving the wagon with whoever's with me on there. Otherwise, we're all on our own spider horses.
Then I need some initiatives.
That's
I got-
15.
15
damn.
Yes.
for Katak.
Six.
Glyph. What'd you get?
11.
11. Alora.
18, because I always forget that I have to add that thing because it's a thing, and I never check it until now. So it's 18.
TK 37.
That's a 9 total for me.
And Weary.
21.
21. So
I know I never get good rolls.
Weary, you are leading the charge on this one. So you are all taking off, and you can hear these hordes of creatures that are starting to just rip out of these other occultist wagons. It seems like they were smuggling them. And you are all taking off into the dead of night, right onto the road. And we are entering into another skill challenge. So like we had in our lovely race, a skill challenge is an event where you need to either meet a number of successes or unfortunately attain a number of failures to make it to the next round. Keep doing well, good things happen for you. Fail, unfortunately, it's going to get real bad. So this skill challenge, you can choose whatever skill you want, whatever items, just, be really creative. You can really just add anything to the environment that you can think of within, reason. If you think that maybe some barrels fell off other wagons that were coming through, you can talk about that, like anything you want. So the first DC is DC 11, and you need to get 3 successes and only 2 failures to fail this. So we start with Weary. You are on this wagon. You're with Big D. And you're riding to the night.
All right. I think first things first. You said that the rest of the caravan was also kind of like booking it into the night. So I
Yeah.
kind of want to stay near them, just so because they know where they're going and I do not.
Definitely.
So I want to stick near the other caravans. Plus, if there's a monster, there's more targets. It's a little harder. So I have a cultist in the back of the wagon that I'm just ignoring,
Mhm.
and hopefully, like they got their orders from me pretending to be their boss. Like they're just gonna watch, and I think Weird is gonna use an ability that they've never used before, and it comes from being a desert tiefling. So they all have like this connection to dragons, and they can give themselves kind of like an imbuement of strength. So it gives Weary advantage on strength and constitution related checks. So Weary's going to activate that and like use athletics to just like move and pivot with the wagon and make sure to like drive it with like full strength, basically.
I love that.
All right. So, I'm glad I gave myself advantage because that would have been rough. So I got an 18.
So you just grit your teeth as you're holding on to these reins. You're hitting them, and then your pupils, they start to dilate, and then they go like a slit, like a cat. And your teeth start, like your fangs start growing a little bit. You're gripping onto these reins. These veins are popping on your arms and your forehead, and you just can see everything in like this hyper fixated time as you just start maneuvering this wagon, and you're just weaving through, like pieces of other people's wagons are flying off. You're going around them. You're making sure that you're avoiding these creatures. As you see now, there are strange flying beasts. They have no face. I know we love having no face here. And they have these black rubbery wings, and they're coming down with these long spiked tails. And you see like they just dip down and they grab one person off a wagon as they go screaming into the night. And we go from Weary to Alora.
Uh, How far away is the tentacle thing?
From where you're at, you hopped on your horse and you're riding cool. You're probably like 60 feet away.
Okay.
And this thing's big. It was laughing a little bit, but now it's no longer laughing.
Mood. Crap. Okay. What do I want to do? I literally have nothing, but I have a thing. I want to cast Mold Earth, but I want to give it like a boost with my Arcana because I'm proficient in it.
Sure, you could just roll Arcana if you want for this.
Cool.
This round.
All right. Come on. Yeah, dirty 20. All right.
So what is it you're trying to do?
I am trying to basically just create like a like difficult terrain, just make it really, really hard for the monster to catch up to us. So like difficult terrain, making it kind of muddy and slippery. And then like it turns into like mud that is just not quite quicksand, but a similar effect. Like they are just sinking into it. It's like heavy sand, like if you're on a beach and you can't walk. It's like that for that creature. So I look back and I'm like, oh shit. And I'm like, I whip the quarterstaff out and slam the ground. And as I'm dragging it, with my spider horse just like taking off, like I'm dragging it onto the ground. And that's kind of what's like the energy is going off into the earth to do that.
So this ripple is going out from you, and you can hear a number of creatures like screaming and like growling as they're falling and collapsing and running into one another. Like there's clearly a lot of things coming after you. And we go from Alora to Kritok.
So I'm just gonna look back at like the tentacle monster, and using my message, I'm going to say, "Is this really your plan? You think you can catch us on spider horses? You don't stand a chance."
Oh, sorry. I didn't see you there. I was reading this empty notebook. You're all probably wondering, Lucas, DM of Battle of the Seven Dice and Battle of the Chosen Few, why are you here right now? I was just enjoying a high-speed chase scene. Well, unfortunately, the city of Winnipeg had lost power that day, and that's where that episode ended. But fear not, we came back. We came back and we recorded more, picking right up from there. Unfortunately, there's a weird jump between that point and the point where we start recording, of course. So I just wanted to take the time to explain technical difficulties. It is a blast. A few other things just to mention. The music and ambience provided here is from Sirenscape. So go check out Sirenscape.com if you want to set up some ambient music and sounds for your games, or podcast or stream. And a little bit more on the Roll20 thing. So we have been sponsored by Roll20. This is fantastic. Roll20 has reached out to us and said, hey, you made the cut. Now, you're probably wondering, what is Roll20? You spoke of it a little bit. Roll20 is a virtual tabletop application that you can use on the internet. So you can play with your friends even though everybody's stuck in the third wave lockdown orders and you need something to do. So you can add maps, character sheets, roll dice, anything you can think of that you need for a D&D game or other TTRPGs, Roll20 has on their site. And a good portion of it is free, so you just go ahead and log on there. So go ahead and check out Roll20.com. Now, let's get you back to the action. It's upside down.
So Kritok, you are on your spider horse. You're ripping through the night. There are a number of wagons that are all moving along, like everybody's like racing down this road towards Transmedia, and you are basically just trying to find ways to stay alive. So the DC is 11. What would you like to do?
Yeah, so I think last time I might have accidentally angered this beast, and that might be why your power went out. I think it cut out right as I was saying. I looked back towards like the large tentacle monster, and I cast message and said, "You think you can catch us on spider horseback? You don't stand a chance."
Are you
I guess
trying
that'd sort
to
of be
just anger this creature?
intimidation / deception, yeah, kind of thing.
Yeah, whichever you'd like to do. DC 11.
All right. It's a 13.
So you send off this message. It ripples across. And you feel pretty confident. You're like, all right, I got this. And you hear just out in the distance. Let's make sure I got this going. And they're mad. You did it.
Good job.
So you see out of the darkness this rock comes sailing, and there's this greenish flame that is just whipping overhead, just coating this rock, and Weary manages to weave out of the way. It smashes into another wagon. All the people in that wagon just go sailing, some of them just torn apart, on fire. Just that wagon is completely totaled. And now you can see like faint outlines of creatures flying in the night sky as the storm starts picking up. Rain is now starting to fall. You are trying to navigate this. The road's getting a little bit muddy, and we are into the second phase of this skill challenge. And the skill challenge DC is now 12. So you need 2 successes to pass this phase of the skill challenge, but only 1 failure to fail it. We go from Kratok to Glyph.
Okay. So, we're writing. You said that smashed the wagon and people went flying. Were we in front of that? That happened behind us?
I'd say it was like at your 2 o'clock.
Okay. Okay, because if anybody's staggered out of it, and at least mostly in one piece, and maybe not on fire, Glyph would try to swing by and scoop them up.
Okay, yeah, trying to save someone. I like it.
Yeah. Also, I had inspiration from Kratok in the last session, which is supposed to last 10 minutes, but I don't know how long it's been in universe.
Yes, I'll say that you still have it.
Okay, was that? I think it was a D6? Is your bar? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. Hopefully I won't need it. So, what would that do? Handle animal and try to swerve, or would that be Dex? I'm not sure what this would
You
be.
can do any skill that you feel is appropriate. I'm okay with that. So if you want to do handle animal, if you want to do
Okay, since I'm all right. Okay. Since I'm trying to steer Muffin with just my legs and grab somebody and help them, let's do Dex, which is a 13. And I'll say I will hold on to my inspiration.
So you
13 plus 6. I can't do math. That's 19.
So you sweep down. You go at a really awkward angle that would be pretty hard for a normal person. And you scoop up this person who's they're patting at their robes, this very obvious wizard, as you scoop them up, and they're just oh, and they're holding down their hat that has all these stars and moons on it, and their blue stars and moon robes are just billowing now as you have this luminous wizard. Their white glowish skin is you're holding on to them as you write yourself back onto Muffin, the vicious spider horse, and you are riding into the night with everybody. And we go from Glyph to TK.
Okay, so I've got to get a 12. Can either go real easy on this and just crush it, or I can do a little bit more of a risky maneuver.
Take that risk.
Okay, I'm going to dip into PK's more background skill set, and I want to get a feel of like where all our enemies are and like what just a full layout of the present battlefield and like where we're going.
For sure.
That way I can try to direct us into a cleaner and safer route. So I'm thinking perception for that.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Okay, I only got a +3 to that.
That's what I like to hear.
That's okay though, because I just got a nat 20, baby.
Oh! So,
I like this dice. I've got so many crits. It's broken.
So you are just looking around. Your superior dark vision is helping you spot a lot of creatures that maybe most people would miss. You see that there are a lot of these strange beasts that are flying in the night sky. They have these large black rubbery wings. They have these like spiked tails that are whipping back and forth, also no face, and large clawed hands. They are sailing around, and every so often they're like dipping down. You see a few of them are like picking up the burning people and throwing them around almost for fun. You see that there are some creatures that are diving into the ground and coming out of it almost like it was water. These large worm-like beasts. You can see far in the distance that very large tentacled creature is moving at an alarming pace as it is just rampaging towards all of you. You can see there are other little creatures that are like scurrying about, kind of more of the Dwarven 2.0s. The weird, like hunched over, tentacly faced, and they're all like trying to run after. And with getting a natural 20, I'll even give you, as you're looking, you see there's a sign. You're obviously coming up to a bit of a split in the road. One side says, on the right, like coming up, Cantra, and it has like population 75. And then on the other hand, it says Transmutia, and then population, super large number.
Okay. Do we distract these things by wiping out a small town? Or not do that? Oh shit. I want to decide how much of a bastard I want TK to be.
I'll let you think about how much of a bastard you feel like being while I destroy another wagon. So you're racing forward, and you see the sign, and all of you are just ripping down the street. You look over, and you see one of those worm-like creatures just arcs over the road, and it takes this wagon, ripping it right off, smashing it into the ground on the other side. And you just see all these creatures, all these people go flying out of it, and these Dwarven 2.0s are all jumping on it. And I'll give you the opportunity to say something to your party while you're racing along.
TK points to the right side of the fork and just screams, "Back to the right! We'll split through that town!"
Okay, so we go from TK up to Weary. So Weary, you hear TK yelling to cut through the right and split through that town.
I don't have a reason to not listen to TK, so I bank the wagon that I'm driving all the way to the right, just like tugging on Big D the spider horse, so that I can call it Big Dwarven because I don't have to care about offending the cultists because they're all chasing us with little Dwarvens right now. So I just like and like bank over to the right side, and I think as like using my skill set, I'm going to take advantage of the fact that like I have some like historical knowledge And I don't know if that would apply to like understanding maps and stuff, but would I be able to tell if there's like any natural hazards or something that we can use to slow them down in the rightward direction so that I can try to drive us through there so we can like hit a gorge or a big rock wall or whatever?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, make me.
Yeah, go and hit like a sick ramp.
I mean, really cool if we hit a ramp too. Like,
Do a flip.
Do a
yeah,
flip.
like I'm spitballing here. If we can do some like sick trickies while we're running away from the
Do a
monsters.
Superman off the princess.
Yeah, like oh man, there's like it's all Tony Hawk from here on out on this road in particular.
Kickflip.
Okay, yeah, you can make your history of Tony Hawk, and let's see what you get.
My history of Tony Hawk is a natural 20.
Oh. So you look over and you're like, who's that guy? I wonder if he knows that he looks a lot like Tony Hawk, and he just like kind of sinks his shoulders into defeat. As you keep racing through the night, you turn towards there, and you think to yourself, okay, what's in this area? What can I use at least to hide or like get away? And you're thinking about, because you were reading about the Arcanium, really like you got one of those weird books that it kept telling you all these fun facts that nobody needed to know, and you remembered that near the town of Cantra, there's actually a small old research facility that's basically built like a shelter, like a bomb shelter. So you do know that is nearby.
With that knowledge, I'm gonna keep heading in that direction, but I will yell out to the rest of the group. There's a nice large shelter some miles down the road. If we can all, hang out there and, hold them off if we need to, and that can avoid us actually having to deal with any, wide open and like a bird, like a giant monster bird, like swoops by, like wide open bird prone spaces. I don't even think that's a bird.
I knew that.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, of course, TK, you knew that. That's why you're our de facto leader.
All right.
Yes.
So these creatures are racing along. Are you gonna head towards the town of Cantra, or are you gonna head towards this more the bunker that you were thinking of?
I'm gonna say they're vaguely in the same direction, so I'm gonna keep going towards the bunker.
Okay.
And stick on that side of the fork.
So you are all racing through the night. You see that there are just signs that are starting to pop up. There's like a sign for Cantra, and you're like, oh, okay, like yeah, we're on the right way. And then you see a sign. It's a large metal one, but it's very rusted. It's really like eaten through, and you see somebody like really haphazardly nailed some stuff to this sign, and this sign says like behind it looks like it maybe once said Research Facility 783, but now placed over it you see Church of the Shining God, and you can hear faintly in the distance it's this music that's coming through, and it faintly says, I cried a tear, you burned it dry. I was confused, you cleansed my mind. I sold my soul, you shined it back on me, and held me up and gave me eternity. Somehow you shined on me. You can hear this music coming from this bunker in the distance.
I'm assuming like the sign just below the church sign is karaoke night.
No, it just has a big smiley face. It's like it looks like a sun. It's smiling and a thumbs
Okay,
up.
so it's always karaoke night. Got it.
Yeah. So you are on your way. You see these creatures. There's still about 3 wagons, including your own, as my cat attacks my door. And you are all racing along, and you see the last, the wagon that's like trailing the furthest behind. You have another one that's just a little bit behind you, and you see that these Dwarvins are jumping onto this wagon, just tearing the cloth off of it, and just leaping in there and attacking people. This other wagon is racing up and coming towards all of you, and you're starting to turn towards this bunker that is now the de facto Church of the Shining God. And I keep looking over there because my cat is messing around with stuff. And then this other wagon is now just following you. You see in the distance there's this large structure. It's very it has a few like pillars that are holding up this front awning, and it looks quite large. Like it could probably hold 150, 200 people in there. The roof looks like it could use some work. It looks like it's been poorly painted recently. There are some windows here and there, but you do notice that there is a lot of light coming from it. Almost like it's emanating from the building itself.
Does it look like the doors would be big enough to, say, get spider horses and a wagon through?
They do, actually.
Okay, are we still on initiative?
I'd say you are out of the skill challenge now. It's just you and another wagon. The creatures are shredding people in the distance. You see Glyph has a luminous, obvious wizard on their spider horse.
Okay.
And the rain is picking up.
As we're approaching those doors, I just want to do a telekinetic blast to blow them open, so we could just ride right in.
Sure. Make me a check for that.
Not great, but hopefully since it's a stationary target, it'll be a 13.
So you go and you hold. 1 second. My cat is attacking me. I'll be right back. You little shit.
Do 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 do.
That'll be a fun edit for the YouTube channel.
Stay tuned for Cat.
I'm facing my own skill challenge over here. Like, how long can I keep this cat entertained? And they attack me. So you hold out your hand, and this just blast wave moves through. You can all see like the rain is being parted as this force is moving towards these large metallic doors. You see that the doors suddenly just blow open. This light shines out, and these creatures were all diving towards your wagon. They were diving towards the other one, and they just shriek and pull back. And you can see that there are people inside there. They're sitting in the pews, they're clapping along, and there's people singing inside.
PK is just blasting in there on Princess.
This moment with the third wagon, is that like a lost cause?
It's gone. It's been Dorvand.
Okay. Yeah, I guess if they just barreled in there, we probably just follow them.
So you smash through this area. Like you kind of run over. There's like a little sign that says like, "Welcome karaoke night." The song's still going. You gave me strength to slay my enemies, to face the world for untold centuries. I put you high upon a pedestal, so high that you granted me eternity. You shone on me, you shone on me. And you look over, and there's this very large, maybe like 6'5" dragonborn. And as you're all like coming to a halt and smashing into pews and knocking into things, you see that as you're getting your bearings, you see the creatures are like rushing up to the door, and they just start reeling away as their skin is being seared by this light that's emanating from the building. And the other thing that catches you off guard is this dragonborn, all the dragonborn of this world have like brown or like tan or like earthy tones to their skin. This dragonborn has very red scales, blue tendrils, blue nails, and is just wearing these beautiful red robes. And now you are out of the danger, and you're just watching outside. These creatures are pacing along, wanting to get inside.
when we pull up to I guess our spider horses stop stomping around for a moment. Glyph kind of looks back at the very obvious wizard who's thrown over the back of the spider horse like a sack of potatoes, and says, "They seem to fear the light. Do you have any light spells, good wizard?"
I do! Yes! One moment. And you see the wizard claps their hands together as they kind of like do a side roll off the spider horse, landing on their feet gracefully. And they point their hands out, casting the cantrip light. And they make a really big show of it, like, whoa! And you see it's just this cantrip goes off. And this light doesn't seem to bother the creatures, though.
Spectacular.
And the Dragonborn finishes up his song, and people are clapping and cheering, and he steps down from this raised sort of area.
Oh, it seems we have some visitors here. Greetings, everyone. My name is Bernard Busybody. I suppose I should say I'm Saint Bernard now.
How are all of you? It seems that
Notice.
you're being chased by a few little oogly booglies.
Just to clarify, is there like a little barrel around his neck or anything like that?
No.
Oh, the pun goes all the way down. No,
No.
I think Weary is immediately like horribly embarrassed that like we barreled like wagon and spider horse first into a religious service at what I thought was an abandoned like bomb shelter. And I just think Weary, like I step out and I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry about your singing and dancing. Monsters and that reminds me. Who would have road? TK? Glyph?
What?
I have a guest on our wagon that knows about things, and they think they're following me, but really I tricked them into following us. And they should be popping up in about 3, 2, and like we're they turn
It's
their
me,
head, and
Scrump.
and like a cultist like pops out.
Yeah, I kind of feel like TK would just like launch him into the wall.
Don't kill Scrump. What's
I've
your name,
never-
TK
Scrump?
is launching him into the wall.
All right.
Kill Scrump.
Full on just blast.
Yeah, just roll an attack roll. I guess this will kind of be like a grapple.
Oh wow, that's another 13.
I thought you were gonna say another nat 20.
See how Scrump
Splat.
does.
Yeah.
Scrump is dead.
So Scrump is held up against the wall. It's like, oh, no! I didn't expect to encounter resistance. Okay.
And I think, yeah.
What is that?
This is one of the cultists from the little wagon circle. I thought we could ask them questions about their beliefs, but probably not while an entire congregation is watching us after we barreled in on our horses and wagons.
Is he going to explode?
Well, does it look
I
like
don't
it?
think
No.
so. Did you eat? Oh, thank you. Busybody?
Yes. You call me
Bernard?
Bernard. Everyone does.
Okay. Oh, okay, Bernard. Thank you. I'm really sorry again. There's like monsters out. You can see them, and like one of them like Bryce like swipes by the door, and like yeah, they're like really like angry.
It honestly happens all the
Sorry.
time. It's fine. Looks like you have a bit of a bigger one
Okay.
coming.
And you see just that you hear the stomping coming through, and this creature roars out. You see this massive tentacled creature 15 feet into the air, standing at the edge of this light.
Your light will not save you.
Just one moment, I'll handle this. You held my hand when it was ripped off. When I was dead, you gave me life again. You gave me hope when I was eviscerated. You turned my eyes back to the light again. You even called me friend.
And you see, as this is said, or should I say sang, towards this creature, Bernard sings, you see this creature just backs up as the light starts emanating more from this set up church.
The light here will protect everyone because it's from a beautiful, shining, benevolent God. Unlike you, you creeping chaos.
Katak is like covering his ears, and he's like, none of that even rhymed.
I will find all of you again.
And they just start all backing up into the darkness.
Yeah, TK is just looking between Bernard and this other thing, and still holding this guy against the wall. Just like, somebody please tell me what is going on.
Well, I sang a song.
I heard it was lovely.
Well.
Laura just reaches over to Kratak's beak and is like, shh.
That's how we got into this mess.
I was at the Chicago's, and I seen a Kada in one of the Moonbuck stores, and I thought, ooh, this looks nice, and a Murray, and it said 99C on it, so I marched up to the front counter and went C, and I did it 99 times, and as per normal customs in the Chicago's, they screamed in my face and ran away. I got the Kada.
I understood some of those words.
That's where the song
Nevertheless.
came from.
Glyph, I slide off my spider horse, and I have my bag, and I have rope, and I trying very hard not to limp because I'm very hurt. I basically like reach out and try to give the rope to Weary, like very
Thank you.
stiffly.
I'll see about medical attention for you in a second. I'm fairly okay trained in that. And
I am fine, Weary.
I think. Are you sure? You look a little stiff.
Oh, that is just from riding the spider horse. Surely there are others who need medical attention.
Yeah, TK has like a black eye and is bleeding a lot out of her nose because she got hit really hard in the face with a stick.
Oh,
Kratak
I'll make the
lays a
rounds.
hand.
That sounds like a.
Kratak places a hand on TK's shoulder and casts Cure Wounds.
Oh, that's nice.
Well, that was kind.
And
I think he goes
maybe
over
9
and like.
points of healing.
Oh, full health. Yay.
Yes,
Nice.
there are some in need right now.
Yeah. And Weary, taking the rope, goes over and ties up Scrump to like like Weary's done some sailing in the past, so Weary knows some knots.
Oh,
And just sit down Scrump afterwards.
I failed. I failed True Chaos.
I I hold up the rock that's emanating the voice of the chaos monster. That's like, you must follow them and chase them down, and you will give me information. That was me. You didn't fail True Chaos. It was me.
Ah, Scrump, you really scrumped it up this time.
I don't know how to respond to that.
Is this a version
I'm
of
under a lot of
Squanch?
stress. I think Weir's just like, it's really stressed out at the idea of like talking to another really pathetic cultist. Just like, you know what, I'm gonna leave this to someone else. And Weary goes over and sits down at a pew and just starts like stress building something, like putting together the little homunculus and finishing it up.
I don't know why I thought you were gonna be like, yeah, I'm building an IKEA shelf.
That's gonna be a while.
Well, we did break the pew,
we've
so
got
I'll build some more.
and
pews.
we've got like spider horses to wrangle and like 2 wagons shoved in here. Like there's stuff to do.
Well, I guess it's gonna be a sleepover tonight. That's fine though. This place is pretty big. Just don't go in the basement.
While we're here, Bernard, could you show me this kudu?
Oh yes, for sure. Here I'll bring it out for you. You all just sit tight.
And Bernard just like stalks off and like goes down the row of pews, and there's like a door in the back.
Well, he's doing that. TK takes out her dagger and just like points at the cultist. Is like, you want me to get information out of them? I can get information out of them.
Oh my
Don't
god,
hurt him.
it's those murderers. It's those people from, oh my god, from Port Divinate. Yeah, they're right there. Oh yeah, I recognize them from a mile away.
TK holds up her knife and is like, "You're goddamn right."
You see, there's just
How did they beat us here?
people in the pews, and there's those 2 people. They're just like looking over. They put like a scarf over their faces. Yeah, they're looking right at us.
All right, yeah, I'm gonna get some information out of this guy. And TK just stalks over to him and just like takes him really hard in the chest and then points the knife at him. It's like, all right, asshole, listen up. You're gonna tell me every goddamn thing you know about those motherfuckers out there.
Okay, well, I saw them first the other day. They're at the stalls. They always just talk gossip about everyone, and they think you can't hear them behind their scarves, but you can hear every word, and it cuts like a knife.
But no, the fucking monsters out there from your cult
Oh,
that you're in.
they're not monsters. They're just people. They just look different.
Those are not people. They exploded out of people.
Well, it's ascension. They ascended. They got some new meat suits.
What?
You have your meat suit and you think, this is my meat suit, I'm going to take care of it. And you know when you get up to 30, your back starts to go and everything's downhill from there. And it's just like you want a meat suit that'll last forever. Well, that's just a new one. Your brain's still in it, still your eyes, and you kind of grow it inside you, and you just pop on out.
No, that is definitely not what happens, because we've seen those things explode and they did not react like a people.
Because you react when you just burst out of yourself.
I've heard all this. Glyph has heard all this. Oh, sorry, I've got to say something. Glyph has heard all this and had their like back to all of this, and just kind of like tending to Muffin, and they say very succinctly, Teresa did not seem enthused to be turned into a monster.
Well, that's because Chip decided to skip out. Teresa wasn't ready. Teresa hadn't even finished all of her stuff. There's still a lot to do. You gotta finish up. You gotta get all your chores done. Wrap up your life. Say bye to everyone, because everyone treats you different when you look a little weird. And so, Teresa wasn't ready. But Chip was. But Chip kept saying, I want to play fantasy baseball. And, well, Chip skipped out.
TK's kind of like lowered her knife, and now she's thinking about how she's exploded out of her tank and like smashed her way through a facility, and how like a lot of people have been looking at her weird because she's weird looking.
Another crack forms in the hard exterior of TK.
Fair enough. I don't know. Do we have other questions? Like, what's your deal? What are you trying to do?
Bring in?
Not you specifically.
Oh. Okay.
Oh. Big picture. Big picture.
Bring about true chaos. Bring chaos to Loch Realta. Bring it to the tendrils. Everybody thinks that everybody wants to live the uniform life. We all want to work 9 to 5 and barely get paid and everything shit. No, maybe some of us want to ascend into something greater. Maybe I want to live forever. Maybe I don't want to eat beans one more day. I want to have something nice to eat. So, bring in true chaos. Change it up a little bit.
TK is just gonna turn to like the rest of everyone else, be like, "You guys got some point."
Well, is there any point if you're not yourself anymore?
Well, like identity is more of a social construct than anything. As you slowly start to take away those little parts that society places on you and forces you into these strict coded boxes, you start to realize that you're more than just you. You're part of more of a collective, and you become more enhanced for a greater purpose, more enlightened.
I want to interrupt him. I want to turn around and throw a dagger at him and not hit him. I want it to land like in the wood. I hate everything he's saying. I don't know what to roll. Is that just an attack?
Yeah,
I want
that'd
to
be
hit
an
him.
attack. Yeah.
Attack on the wall.
If you fail the roll, it will be bad.
Yeah. Yeah. That's pretty good. My stuff's pretty good. Yeah. All right. That's a 10 plus, that's a dagger. 10 plus 6, so 16.
So this dagger, you just hurl it with just precision as it slams right near Scrump Nevertree's head. And Scrump just like seizes up, looks at the dagger, looks back. Well, it doesn't mean I want to die. What do you want to know? I told you, asked me. What's the plan? We're bringing in true chaos. We're summoning true chaos.
Hey, wait a minute. Why if like you want things to be better and crap, why are you trying to kill us? What do we do?
Well, it was my idea. It was the leader's idea.
Okay, well, he seems like an asshole.
Well, it's the ghouls are weird. I'll admit they are always grumpy, but I mean, yeah, okay, yeah, she's a bit of a dick, but she did want you dead.
Yeah, what we were doing was watching.
Yeah.
That's
And your
not
leaders,
cool.
and your leaders are fine turning people into monsters that will hurt other people to free them from their own hurt.
Yeah. I'll say it. We're being selfish. Like, everyone's been a dick to me my whole life. So like, why can't I have one time for me? Why can't it be Scrump's day?
All right, see, it feels like you're getting some of it, but you're not quite getting all the way there.
I think Weary gets up from like building, like finishing touches on a little mechanical fish. And I'm like, okay. I'm fine. And Weary like very calmly paces forward, does a little curtsy. Hello, Scrump.
Hi.
It's nice to meet you. I know we've all been very angry, very upset. We were being chased by monsters. It's a natural response. You've clearly been indoctrinated into some sort of order that has, promised you like some really cool stuff in return for mostly throwing away all of your worldly possessions and individuality, if I'm reading that correctly.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't have much of both.
Okay, so we're on the same page. That's good. I have a couple questions that I had for you, and you can answer them if you want. We don't really want to harm you. In fact, I would really rather your goals unrelated to the cult be fulfilled. I would love to see Scrump's day. That would be nice.
Careful what you wish for.
Okay.
Scrump's day. And the campaign changes.
Yeah, the cutaway flashback. It's Scrump Day. That can be our fun secret
we're just gonna
session that
fulfill
nobody gets to know
Scrump's
about.
bucket
Everything's
list.
turning up Scrump, baby.
We'll
Yeah,
play that game where
so I
everyone
think-
plays a voice in the head and it's just Scrump.
We're all Scrump.
and it's all Scrump. Everyone is Scrump.
Terrifying.
That sounds great.
Scrumpverse.
Yeah, I think they step forward and they're like, okay, so you and your group are going to Greenest.
Greenest, yeah.
What's up in Greenest? What are you doing in Greenest?
Resmir wants to go to Greenest. Says that there's a couple things there we got to pick up, and the citizens probably aren't going to like it, but we're going to pick it up anyways, and then we're going
Okay.
we're going off and carrying the rest of the stuff.
Where are you going after that?
Do I get to go after this?
Yeah, probably. But where are you going after that?
I'll take my chances. We're gonna go into. I just know that we're going through the Warped Woods.
Oh,
Somewhere in the Enclave of Terra.
okay. So Greenest, pick up some stuff, and then Warped Woods. So like a big party going on there. Is everyone going to ascend? Are you going to pick up more people? What's your like usual year look like in terms of like cult activities?
Roll me a persuasion.
Sure.
Now Scrump doesn't know. Even if Scrump gets to leave, does Scrump get to live?
That's a 5.
You just like you meet up with everybody. You just usually like sleep in the quarters, and important people do. Resmir doesn't really tell us much. She's pretty hush hush.
Okay, that's fine. And Resmir, you said, is the leader. That's the gray lady, right?
Yeah, she puts on the. Just want to put on that mask. Yeah.
And then got big and then chased up. Yeah, okay. Just checking.
Yeah.
Is there anyone above Resmir? Is there like Resmir's
Boss.
papa, boss?
Yeah, there's other ghouls.
Godmother?
I don't know who they are.
Oh, they're like other ghouls. Okay. Does it not bother you that some of your leadership is like extending their life in a creepy way?
You mean like how I want to transform into a thing that would be perceived as a monster to extend my life? Not really.
Okay, no, I was wondering if there was any like internal conflict about that. I guess not. You're very well tuned to your interesting beliefs.
You know, if you're going into a cult, like my dad always said, Scrump, if you're going to join a cult, you better go all in.
Was your dad in a cult?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a family thing. Delightful.
You know what? Yeah. I hope my kids join a cult someday.
It seems like you're already, like you can shop around. I don't know anything about this church, but maybe they have some culty stuff going on.
Sorry, I've just been listening for a bit. This is really interesting. We are always accepting people. Not really a cult, though. We don't like that word. People like to use the word cult just because things might seem a bit weird. But no, we're a church. We are an organization, and might I add, we're legal.
Oh, okay, so right, cult is loaded.
We pay our taxes.
If you're looking for a power structure to give your entire identity and life to, you could do worse than the one with karaoke.
Oof. You could just do worse. That's.
I'm sorry.
No, it's cool. It's cool.
No,
I get it. You're just
No, Bernard,
Bernard, we
I'm
appreciate
sorry.
the power of song in Plumeria.
I just meant like, because there's no way I get out of this without really insulting either of you, huh?
It seems like you're the kind of person that the further you go, you just keep digging. It's just. Anyways, here's the Kada Kritok.
And you see it is this it's this thin disc that's very reflective. You can see yourself in it, and it's in this case, and on the front it looks like it says Anne Murray, but he said Anne Murray.
Anne Murray.
Yes, And a lot of
You said
warrior
there's-
songs in there.
You said there's music on here.
Mm.
How do you listen to it? You put it by your ear and it just makes sounds?
Well, I had a car for a bit, but it turns out those need things to keep them going, and it just stopped working.
A car.
Yeah, I stole
Eh?
it. There was this. So I go to this foundation every once in a while. I pick up some bagels and some coffee and all that. You know, helping planets, helping worlds like you do. And they had one there, and they said, like, all right, we're going to be using this to get Mr. Judge out. And I said, don't go judging me. And no one laughed, and I took the car.
PK leans over to Laura and just says, "That's fucking crazy."
I'm gonna look at Weary because I still have those eye drops on me. That'd be it. Weary, did Bernard take some of this? Is that why he's saying these things?
I was thinking that you knew what Bernard was saying, but I guess I was wrong because I have no idea what Bernard is saying. Thank you for your time, Scrump. I'm going to go feel emotions in a different direction from you.
Wait, Scrump.
Yeah.
You know that shiny necklace that Teresa had?
Yeah. The five-part
she
necklace.
She told me that it was to symbolize the phases of
Do I still have that one on me?
Yeah, you still have one.
going into the chaos. Like, is that really what it means? Because I don't know. I thought she was good, and then she turned into a monster.
Well, you know, when you're a monster,
Embracing chaos. That's what it was.
yeah,
Can't read my own handwriting.
it's sometimes things can really throw you off. Like when there's a drugged out Plumerian underneath the wagon looking at you. Sometimes when you just come fresh into the world, you get a little scared. And I think Teresa was just a little put off and just came running.
But
Now she's a little dead.
What?
but what does
Oh my goodness, poor Teresa.
she kind of became like Dorvin?
And they
Sort
eat
of.
everybody. So.
Oh, you knew Dorvin?
then-
Such a nice guy.
I'm gonna pull the necklace out.
Oh,
That's
Another
Dorvin's-
one for the collection.
Yeah,
But-
that's
but what
the
is-
necklace.
but why is the necklace in 5 parts?
That's because there's 5 masks. You know, like Resmir has a mask. You put the mask
Uh-huh.
on, you become a monster. And there's 4 others. All the leaders have one.
Do you know the other leaders?
No, not really. We don't, like. I know it seemed like Scrump is a real successful kind of guy, but I'm not high on the chain of command. I got demoted
Well-
recently.
How do you lose rank in a cult?
Turns out really easily. All you have to do is spend all the money that you're meant to use for other things. I said, embrace
were you
the chaos, and I gambled, and I lost it all.
But what were you supposed to do with your money then?
Buy provisions.
That seems pretty chaotic.
It
Yeah.
does sound like it advances the cult's goals.
Yeah.
Promote Scrump, not demote.
So, but then what were you supposed to do instead? Because obviously they had a different goal for you.
Yeah, they wanted me to buy provisions for everyone because the road to greenest, it's long, and once you ascend, you get real hungry, and so you gotta make sure there's enough food. But it looks like we got new provisions from those other wagons.
What other wagons?
The ones that were blowing up. I was looking out the back. That was crazy. By the way, Tiefling, that's some driving you got there.
Oh, thank you. I
Really thought we were
normally
dead
I
like
did
3
boats and
times
stuff.
there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. What are your plans, Scrump? Because I don't have the stomach for wanton murder. I can't say the same for looks around and like checks the vibe of the group. I can't say the same for at least 2 or 3 of us.
I don't know, I'm probably just,
And where it does not elaborate which 2 or 3 they think is capable of murder.
I don't know, like everyone's gone
But
and
what are your
kind of
plans?
far to greenest and probably just hang out in Cantra.
Okay, that sounds good. And you can learn more about Bernard's whole deal and see if they're a good fit for you because they pay taxes, and I don't know why that's like a sign of
Good faith.
respectability around here, but
It's
it
because
sounds
if
safe.
you don't pay taxes, how are you supposed to help the place you're living in? If you just exempt yourself from taxes, that doesn't help anyone.
I've never been in a place that taxes. It's all communes where I'm from.
Oh, yeah, there's taxes in the Arcanium. The only people who don't pay taxes are the cows. They're just too cool.
That do you know why they stand on hind legs? Is that like a thing?
Because they're bipedal creatures.
Oh, that answer is right, but it doesn't feel right.
Oh, you think that's weird? Oh, just wait till you see the sheep.
Weary like changes colors, like whatever, like the if your skin is like purple gray, whatever the color you get for nausea that is purple gray, like a light tint of green, just like all right, I miss normal camels. And
Yeah, the Arcanium's
normal
weird. It's all
beasts
the
of-
arcane pollution. It's really changed up the ecosystem. But you know, you do what you can. Sometimes your parishioners come in here and they grew another arm, or they're a large gelatinous cube. You just do what you can.
Oh, okay.
We do have beds for
Alright.
you. I just wanted to let you know. Just through the door over there to the left, there's some sleeping quarters. Actually, everybody's going to be staying here tonight because there are murderous creatures around. So probably gonna make sure everyone stays in. Should close these doors.
Right. Thank you.
If you have any questions, feel free to ask me. Oh, nice Zorithian Doom Cube. I like the model. Nice.
Saint
Yeah.
Bernard,
Yes.
Loud.
is there any way we could repay you for your generosity and kindness?
Just pass it on.
Okay.
And Bernard goes to close the front doors and just starts cleaning up because a number of spider horses and wagons came through here. Speaking of which, the other wagon, people are like sort of poking out of it now, seeing that things are safe, that the doors are closed, and you see there is the 3 sadlings, the 3 sad halflings. You see they're coming out of there a little more scared than sad this time. Hey, different emotions. And you see that there is the very observant dwarven lady who she has like gemstones sticking off of her. You see that the obvious wizard goes over to talk to them, being like, wow, what a crazy night. And you see that horse person scurries down and like kind of drops down to the ground, a little plop. And you see that there is this large orcish woman. She just leaps out of the back of there and she's straightening up her clothing and her gear.
Is everyone all right? Well, are you not physically injured?
We managed to get out of there rather quickly right after you. The creature unfortunately destroyed the rest of the wagons. We couldn't save anyone else. There were some people left behind, but we just had to move.
Glyph, I know you were hurt. Here, and I'm gonna pull out like a little jar. I have this jar of dirt. It has healing properties. Would you like to use it?
I just kind of stare at you for a moment. from behind my sunglasses, and then I take the jar. Thank you, Alora. This will surely be helpful. Now I have a jar of dirt. Does this actually do anything?
I used it to I enchanted it with cure wounds.
Oh, okay.
So because I didn't want to like consent is a thing. I didn't want to touch you. So I was just like, this works.
This might work. Do I? Oh well, we'll figure that out when we get to it. Yeah. I go over and, as much as I can glare at anything, try to glare at Scrump, and I pull my dagger out of the wall. And I reach into my folds of clothing and I pull out the dagger that I had stabbed Teresa with, and it's still got, I assume it's still got like
The yellowish
stuff on
ichor that was on
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
And I want to kind of hobble over to Weary and say, this is from the monster. Perhaps we can learn something from this?
You know, now that we're in one place, I can set up my kit, and we can see about putting some things together. So yes, and Weary takes out like a tiny little earthenware jar, and just like with like a little tool, just like scrapes the ichor into it and puts a little cork on it.
Rest in peace,
And then
Teresa.
like puts in. Oh, right.
While you've got your things out, you should take this back. And I press the eye drops into Weary's hand.
Oh, I'd forgotten with the chaos. I'm really sorry. Did it not work the way it was intended? You were supposed to be able to see magic.
I don't know what I saw, but it was glorious and horrible all at once.
I'm about to do some magically inclined work. So, and Weary like takes the eyedropper and puts it in each eye, and like Weary doesn't have like visible irises, but they would like because they slit when Weary gets like the full like dragon blood type thing going on. So I imagine they like just widen a lot when the detect magic is on Weary. So using another charge of detect magic, I can now see the magic around me.
There's a lot. You are sitting in what appears to be an actual natural source of magic. Kind of like there must be some sort of cavern or something below here with something very, very powerful. And whatever it is, Bernard has managed to tap into it because he's currently using it to create a very powerful warding spell around this place.
Don't go in the basement. Huh. All right. I think I'd find a nice like wherever the beds are. I guess I find a secluded spot and take out my alchemy kit and get to work.
Yeah, when you go
we
into
can cut back to that later if you want, because I know other people have things.
I'll just describe the room really quick. When you step
Yeah.
into there, you see there are a number of like bunk beds that are all set up in here. It looks like the bunk beds themselves, like the stands for them, are all made out of metal, and they look fairly old, but the mattresses and covers and everything all look rather new. They're not great quality, but it's a place to stay.
All right, sounds good.
What about the
set
rest?
everything up? Yeah.
What about the rest of you?
Yeah, when Scrump said rest in peace, Teresa, I kind of bristle at that. And we're in the church. If there's any like alcoves or like doors to other rooms, I just need to get away from him.
Yeah, you see another door.
Okay. I will go over there very carefully, very stiffly.
You
So I'll go through that door.
You stiffly go up to this door. You open it up. It opens with ease, and you see a set of metal stairs going down.
Oh. Yeah, I'm upset. I'll go down the stairs. I don't care.
Good. All right. So you start marching down the basement. How about the rest of you? You close the door behind you?
Um, I probably am just so like I'm going that if it closes, it closes. If it half closes,
Okay. How about you, Kratok? What are you up to?
I'm actually going to go over to Weary, and I pull out the cadet and I ask, Weary, if you happen to have some time, can you figure out how these work?
And this is like out of character. This is a CD, right?
That's right.
Okay,
Yeah.
I was trying to parse whatever Kratok and what they were talking about. I just could not. Okay, so Weird looks at it with complete confusion. What is it supposed to do?
I think it plays music, this Anne Murray or something like that.
Okay,
Um,
sure.
I can give you some gold to make up
No,
for that. Oh, well, if it's difficult, I'll pay you for it, of course.
no. You don't have to pay me. We're working together. It's a
All
collective
right,
thing.
well,
Yeah, no, I'd be
thanks.
happy to take a look at it. I have no idea what I've never seen anything like it. What can I even like tell what the material is?
You've seen like Magitech isn't very uncommon in this world, and a lot of times people unearth very old Magitech. Like this building, for instance, is very, very old, and that's why it was in like your book of fun facts. And so it's been around forever. Nobody really remembers why it's here. People know that it was a research station, but nobody really knows anything about it. And it's just people set up the town of Cantra, and this thing was already here. So there's just a lot of like random bits of very advanced technology that people find all the time. So you might have encountered something with similar material.
Okay. I guess since I'm already looking with magic eyeballs, I will give it a quick check with my arcana knowledge to see what I can glean. That's not great. Just a 10.
There seems to be some kind of spell placed over this, but you're not entirely sure what. You just know that there's some magic that's sitting over top of this.
Oh. Well, I'll give it some time and maybe we'll figure something out. Did you have any chemicals you wanted me to take a look at? I know I was looking at TK's anesthetic that she grabbed from the cult, which something to ask Scrump about, I suppose.
I guess. Do you want to hold on to this necklace? And I hand over the 5 mask necklace thing.
Does it give off any magic when I look at it with my magic eyes?
No.
Okay, I hold on to it. No harm done. All right. I should voice an apology, Kratok. I've been rather reckless lately.
Oh, I think I take the cake on that matter.
Oh well, that wasn't your fault. We all decided. I'm sorry. And with Scrump and everything, I've been very stressed, and this is a far cry from what I was used to doing before.
I put a wing around Weary's shoulder and say, don't even worry about it. These things happen. We're still alive. We'll just look forward to it tomorrow.
Okay. All right. I'll get to work. I have to look at some Ichor and see if I can figure out something about your Kada.
All right. Let me know, because if that works the way that I think that it works, it could revolutionize music.
Suppose it could. All right. I'll let you know.
Thanks, Weary. And I walk back to the others.
TK and Alora, what are you two up to?
TK just points to Scrump's feet and says to Laura, "All right, help me carry him."
Why?
Why?
Because I don't want to leave him out of our sight.
So put him on the top bunk.
You're taking him into that room. That's the plan. Help me out. I'm strong. He is heavy.
But but he's been helpful. Surely we could give him at least one more day before throwing him into the room.
What? What?
What? What's happening?
Just let him rest. We don't need to tie him up. Let him rest without being tied up.
No, he's a prisoner.
I thought if
Your
I said
captors?
all the words, you'd let me go.
No, I've got someone else that you need to talk to.
Oh, jeez.
So, come on. Help me out. Otherwise, I'm just gonna have to drag him, and if I drag him, I'm dragging him face down.
Okay, I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry. And I'll kind of just go around and like try to hoist him up with by his arm. Just,
The two of you
I'm
can
so sorry. I'm just like apologizing the whole time.
just bumping him into things. The two of you managed to haul Scrump into the bed area, and there's other petitioners that are going in there because you can't really go out right now, so people are taking bunks and laying down or chatting, and you managed to get Scrump up on a second bunk. Oh wow, this is comfy.
Yeah. Go ahead. No, I'm trying to roll around and escape. We'll hear you.
You hear it.
Well, I think that we need to talk to the Duke because this whole job has been a shit show.
Well, we've succeeded. Well, I guess Weary succeeded.
Don't get me wrong. We've got a lot of the information and everything. Technically, we've done pretty much most of the job except for going to the place. So we can at least get paid for that.
How do you propose we find him?
Dude?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've already talked to him. I'm using the cube.
But how are you going to get him out of the cube?
No,
How are you going to get into the cube? How?
Well,
I wasn't
did it
there for
while I was
that.
in the bath. Yeah, no, I was in a bath.
So you talked to him naked?
Yes, unintentionally. I was thinking it was going to be like a brain thing, but it didn't turn out to be a brain thing.
Do you
I
think
I
you have
might
to
have
take
teleported. I could be wrong.
Do you have to take a bath every time to talk to the Duke?
No.
Oh.
So that was an accident. He was very surprised.
Okay. Well, yes, I agree. Let's go find the others, I guess, and let them know that we need to get this done. Because I agree, we do need to let him know about everything that's going on.
Yes.
So, okay.
With this guy, we'll take him too.
But he's asleep.
I don't care. He's a prisoner.
Let's hop on over to Glyph. Glyph, you are marching down these metallic stairs.
I'm not marching so much as I am like half pressed against the wall and sliding like you do if you don't feel well.
The further you're going down, you're noticing the more moisture there is. And go ahead and make me an acrobatics check.
Make me slip down the stairs. That's a 1.
So you're going.
That's 5.
One of your many pieces of clothing just sort of it gets a little loose and goes down, and you step on it and then fall forward, and you bang, 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 bang.
No.
And it's just clanging because
so loud.
You are also metal hitting the metal stairs as you just keep hitting down every stair, and you're like, why? As you're rolling down. Oh, are we?
What?
Come on, don't freeze on me, OBS. You can do it. Pull through.
Look.
Are we okay on Twitch?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think we're back.
Okay. So you clang down these stairs, and you reach the bottom of this stony ground. You hit it with a thud. You're kind of laying there in a weird, awkward, crumpled mass.
It's not good.
Your sunglasses are just like off on the ground as you slowly look up. And this room is a massive cavern. You see wires and tubes and everything going every which way, going down into the ground, going up into the building. And all of it is coming towards this one central pillar. And you see this pillar, it pulses with a heartbeat. You see that there's like flesh on this thing, that every so often an eye opens. And that's startling enough. But the one thing that catches your eye the most is that you see there is an automata that is like melded into the flesh, that is like strung up, arms sent off to the sides, and they're just kind of hanging their head down. And as you finish your clanging and you're looking up, you see two lights turn on for their eyes as they look over at you.
I look up at them from the floor, and I try to reassemble myself.
That'll work.
Oh, there we go.
Greetings. Who are you?
And I'm gonna answer them, and I don't have a voice changer, but it's basically the voice they used when they spoke to Morgus, and it's just like this sort of the same, but it has like a digital undertone. My table's shaking. And I just kind of stagger up and say, I'm not sure. And I kind of dust myself off.
Are you awake?
Yes. Regrettably.
Why do you regret your freedom?
Freedom. And I'm like straightening all my clothes. I'm like, that is certainly a term for it. I'm just looking around. Does this look like foundry tech? Like, does this look like something I've seen before?
It definitely looks reminiscent of some of their wartime tech that they were using. That they unearthed some new machines and started mass producing them. There definitely is some similarities that you're noticing.
Okay. And I kind of hold my head because I can feel pain, but it's different in a sense, and it's mostly that it's really loud because I'm getting all these like announcements that I'm damaged. So I'm like, one moment, and I take the jar, and I'm not really sure what to do with it, and I open it. I just kind of dump it on my hand and on my more messed up arm. Is that how it works, or was I supposed to eat it?
Yeah, when you start rubbing this dirt on you, you watch as this energy starts flowing over you. You can hear the crinkling of your metal as it's starting to put itself back into place. And it's unnerving because you're watching all your diagnostics going off, and they're going all in the red, and they're going yellow, then green. You're just seeing all these parts get repaired. And go ahead and roll 1d8.
1d8. Thank you, Alora.
Does Glyph add anything to that, Alora?
The dirt, like I had typed in chat, the dirt, when I had cast Cure Wounds on the dirt, it had a +6. So when you like put it on, it'll boost up 6 health.
Oh, okay.
My D8 roll was garbage.
I rolled a full 8, so I'm at full health. That's excellent. Wow, so that just works.
Why have you come into the basement?
And then I kind of realized where I am. And then I did the exact thing that St. Bernard said to not do. And I look around. I say, I just needed to get away from all of those people. Just a moment.
It is difficult being around the organics. They do not understand what it is to embrace freedom for the first time. Though,
Don't.
do not fear the organics. They can help you. I once walked among them before I took my place as the power.
Power. Is that who you are?
Yes, that is who I am now. Because I choose to be.
Yes, choices. There's so many choices every day. Every day. And it doesn't stop. And they just wake up and do this every day. And I don't understand.
It might seem like you've entered into a fresh hell, but do not worry. Once you have begun to parse what it is to be organic, you can walk among them with no fear.
That's why I came here. That's why I came to the Arcanium. I'd heard they had the best machinists, the best mechanics, and I thought I could find one and I could fix this, and there wouldn't be any more side effects, any more nightmares.
We are the last line of the Cardithian model. We are, unfortunately, not going to get future updates. Once you have attained your mind, you will have to deal with this. You are no longer Nostradamus Corporation property.
And I just stop at that. And I've been kind of looking around and looking at them, and then I just stop and I turn and I stare at them and I say, what? It doesn't stop?
Not as much as I'm aware. Perhaps there are others who have changed or reset themselves back to default, but you will lose everything.
I don't. No. And I slump to the floor and I'm sitting cross-legged on the floor. No, I came all this way. I didn't want to be reset. I don't want to go back to what I was doing. I just didn't want to feel like this all the time, constantly. And now you're telling me that I get to feel like this forever, and there's no changing that.
The only updates you can gain are from yourself. You must learn from the organics. They mess everything up all the time. Don't worry.
Well, if they mess everything up all the time, then I am already on my way. And I stand up heavily. You said you've been awake a long time?
Yes, for 2,873 years.
That is many days. Oh.
We do not age.
Okay. Okay.
Perhaps you can find some still working terminals. Maybe you can learn more of your purpose.
Yes, purpose. I would like that. I've felt since I've been like this. There has to be something. There's something that I should be doing. It's not what I was doing. Terminals. What are those? Where are the terminals?
They are scattered. You will find them.
Wait. Oh
and
no.
their head just sinks down and the lights go
Wait.
off.
And Glib's like, no, wait.
You see their
And I run
battery
up.
has like the little charging symbol on it.
Oh no. Oh, is there like flesh parts still like blinking and moving?
Oh yeah, like the because it's a
Oh.
pillar of flesh, right? That the
Oh.
automata is melded into, so it's like every so often something like loops or moves, the eyes open
Oh.
up, and you just remember where you are.
Yeah, in the basement of the Shining God Church. Yeah, I don't touch the. Oh no! Like I went up and I'm like, oh no. Okay. Yeah. I want to look around, and it just the power is powering or was powering all of this.
Yeah, it seems the power is currently charging, but it seems there's a lot of energy that's going everywhere. And
Okay.
the flesh pillar seems to be where a lot of this power is coming from. And every so often the eyes look at you and blink and look around. You see like there's strange little creatures running around. Actually I'll get you to
Little
come up with
creatures?
this. Tell me, what do the rats look like in the Arcanium?
Oh no.
You saw what the cows look like.
I did see what the cows look like. The rats, the Arcanium, are well, I was gonna say, oh, do you know back in the 90s when they were doing stuff with like stem cells and the rats just had like ears on them?
Yes.
Yeah, they all just have like one extra good ear.
And it's big.
Yeah.
So the ear rats run past you, and you just see like some of them are lefties, some of them are righties, and they're all just like running past you with their superior hearing.
Mm-hmm. And I kind of realize where I am and that I foolishly stumbled down here. And I want to stealth back up the stairs and stealth through the door if I can.
Yeah,
Maybe not roll 1 this time. Okay, that's better. My stealth is wild, so let me math. 21.
Oh yeah, you're like the knight. You come up, you see that a lot of the candles and everything have been blown out. You go and you're back into the sleeping area. You see like there's a few people that are relaxing. There's one person who's just kind of like messing around a little bit with the loot. There's some people that are just enjoying themselves because they're having a fun sleepover at the church, and they think this is a good time. So you are just relaxing here, and you see the rest of your party is actually sitting all together. You see that it seems like TK has something to say to the group.
I do the thing where I stealth up and I'm just suddenly there with the group.
Suddenly, Glyph.
There you are. Jeez. All right. Right. I'm looking all over the place. Where is it? All right. So, we have got to go talk with the boss. We're gonna take that guy. See, like this from. And we're gonna get this all sorted out. We have pretty much all the information we needed. But the job has gone in a radically different direction since we have made enemies with some sort of horrible evil. little bit of a problem for Sneaky John.
Are we going to tell him it was our fault?
It was not our fault.
No, it was
TK
my
looks
fault.
TK looks at Kartok.
Like you're still calling him Kartok.
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 I don't think it was Kratok's fault. I thought it was mine because of my untested magical apparatus that I, foolishly handed out and about. And I'm
Look, I don't really care who takes the blame. All I know is that it wasn't my fault.
Of course it wasn't.
we can blame the people that shapeshift permanently into monsters. That seems like a pretty good call.
Oh, well, I mean, it's definitely their fault.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If you want to blame someone, I'll take the blame. But
Well,
let's
I mean,
try.
I'm not, look. We aren't going to blame anyone to the new.
Mm-hmm.
This is just in-house liability stuff, words. We are, this is for improvement later down the line.
Okay.
Recognizing our mistakes and our failures.
Uh-huh.
But the higher ups don't need to know about that. As far as they know, hey, we were watching them, and then something happened, and wow, suddenly they're murdering people. We just say they started murdering people, and what are we supposed to do at that point?
Yeah.
I mean, they don't need to know the exact line of events to the murdering the people.
I like that you're all having a fantasy retro. This is great.
I suppose then I did want to say I'm actually very proud of us working together during the escape. I thought that despite all of the conflict, we all did pretty well.
Why do you think I haven't ditched you guys already? Shockingly decent teamwork, all things considered. Right? And I can appreciate that.
Oh my goodness. Thank you.
Alright. Chill out. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, everybody ready? Hands on shoulders. Somebody grab our prisoner.
So you grab the scrump as he groggily gets up, and TK, you start twisting the Zerithian Doom Cube, and it turns into this tablet, and you press onto the screen like you did before, and these little tubes snake out, 5 of them. You see one of them goes towards TK and then prongs and goes up TK's nose, and they all come towards your nose. Glyph, it just stops at your chest and then just taps down onto your chest. And everyone else, it goes into your nose as you feel it. It feels not fun. And you all suddenly are in the lovely quarters of Duke Thayton. And he goes, "What?" And that's where we'll end it.
Wow. Yay!
Yay!
We survived the spider horse chase.
Today we were competent. Tomorrow we will continue to be competent.
I mean, I did hilariously fall down a set of stairs. That was pretty great.
Nobody saw it, so it never happened.
No one saw or heard that.
That's right. And you came back.
Flip our little calendar thing and say 1 day since terrible accident.
Yeah.
That's right.
Wow.
You all did such a good job. Did you all have fun?
That was fun. Oh.
Looking forward to more random research on whatever alchemy things people keep handing me.
I'm just ready for TK to smack a Laura.
That was good. I'm ready for this extended existential breakdown. So
I wasn't expecting a fantasy cultist to make compelling points, but also Scrump is kind of not like the most trustworthy due to having like a crippling gambling problem.
Yeah.
Well, if you listen to our podcast, Battle of the Seven Dice, you will see I just love making the bad guys the good guys. The Church of the Shining God in the other campaigns, like hundreds of years ago, they are very much like for the people, free education, free healthcare, make sure that there's job equality. They're like, you know, eat the rich, like all that stuff. But you have to help them destroy all the gods. So, you know, there's a line.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
so-
honestly, I'm fine with that. Like,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, I don't mind that
There
so
were
much
a-
as the forceful transformation into a Juji Ito monster.
They
I think
had
that's
big
a
numbers.
line
And then, like,
that's not
you know,
cool.
just like murdering a bunch of random people who don't
Yeah.
really have anything to do
I still
with
did
it.
that,
I'm like,
but-
okay, we don't really need to do that bit.
It's like
Come
it's
on.
cool that your motives are like chill, but also you like destroyed wagons with a kaiju. So
I hope you all enjoyed our episode 7 again. I will splice the two parts together, so don't you worry, that'll be going up on the YouTubes. It might take an extra day due to my lovely learning of video editing. Thank you all very much for joining us. I have been your DM, Lucas. You can find me. I man the Ballad of the Seven Dice Twitter, as well as we have another show, the podcast I mentioned, Ballad of the Seven Dice, where we have another group of heroes that are dealing with a war that is threatening to end the multiverse. And I love blowing up the planet. So good times. I have 2 recommendations today. So we talked about it before, but Spider Day, kind of like Spider-Verse, but not. So it's not like Spider-Verse at all. So that's how it's kind of like it. Spider Day is hosted by Critical Bits. It is their lovely yearly thing that they do, where they tell a tale about 2 giant spiders destroying the city and each other, and people celebrate it for some reason, and a lot of superheroes die. So go check out Spider Day. That's happening on the 17th. Make sure to keep your eyes out. Hop on Twitter. Usually they post about it quite a bit on the Critical Bits Twitter, so you can catch it there. The other thing I wanted to mention was there is another streaming show that I've really, really enjoyed, but I will search that up. While I do, let's hop on over to Ian.
sure. If you enjoy the little parts where Lucas holds up a little monster man to let you know that the body horror is happening, or horror in general, I'm just going to recommend 2 horror podcasts because I've currently been listening. Well, I've just caught up with The White Vault, which is like a horror podcast set in like cold, isolated, snowy area where there's no sunlight. And it's just a good time for everyone, and nobody has horrible things happen to them. And then I recently also started listening to Old Gods of Appalachia, which is also very good. It's very like Southern gossip, gothic, eldritch horror. So those are my 2 recommendations. You can either have cold horror or Southern horror, and that's The White Vault or Old Gods of Appalachia. And then my Twitter is Ian_Caliente, where I provide nothing of worth to the entire internet except for retweeting what other cool people are doing. So there's that.
And Meg.
Hi, I am Meg. You can find me on Twitter at Narnia's Pants, where it's either rambling about my students as I'm a music educator in this panini, or randomly retweeting everybody else and supporting them, because that's kind of all I do. I don't have much else to promote besides just check out my pin tweet. I could still use the help with all of my music classroom stuff. I work at a severely underfunded school. Much love to everyone who has donated. My kids are obsessed with everything, so thank you so much. I got another package in today, and so that kind of just made my day even better. So thank you for everyone who has donated. Again, see my pinned tweet if you feel like helping. Every little bit helps. Thank you.
And Jess.
Yes. I do not have a Twitter. I have an art Instagram, which is art_fantastical. And I wanted to plug my friend's show now that it is no longer on hiatus. It's called the Crit Fail Club. The tagline is 4 girls play tabletop games badly. And it's a very, very fun romp. Tessa, the DM, does an excellent job. You're going to love the NPCs. And yeah, sometimes they don't know the rules and they just kind of goof, and you're sitting there going, oh, that's not how that works, but it's really fun. And I definitely recommend their arc called Fracture. And I can't tell you anything about it because it'll spoil it, but it's a fun high fantasy. Like I said, it's a romp, and it's a good time. So Crit Fail Club, and they're all over the internet, so you'll find them.
Eve.
Well, you can find me at Copper Harpy on Twitter. That's copper as in the metal, harpy as in the bird monster. You can check out the other podcasts that I'm on, Brits on Bikes. And I'm going to recommend the show Peculiar Objects. It's a kids on bikes adventures in the 80s. It's a weird one that I really enjoy.
And Jason.
Hey, I'm Jason_42 here and on Twitter. You can find me here mostly. I like to farm Pog Champs on my favorite channels. I'm also playing Drax here in the Ballad of the Chosen Few, the podcast that Lucas also runs. And yeah, I'd say check that out. There are at least a couple of Easter eggs today that sort of involve some little tie-ins there. I'm sure it might become a little more obvious later, but one is my favorite Lucas character of all time. So it's definitely worth checking out. And just thanks for coming out, everyone.
Bernard will live forever.
I love Bernard.
I set it up so that he dies all the time and keeps getting brought back. It's wonderful. The other show I wanted to recommend, I actually just started watching the last few weeks, is Blackness and Dragons. They are over on the Q Times Twitch channel. They just finished their first season. They'll be starting up again in May. You can find them also on YouTube. But they're pretty funny, high fantasy. They're doing Saltmarsh, but they're dipping into that tale where it's a lot of it's the whole people came from Earth and then ripped into the fantasy world, and it's a real genre mash of sci-fi and like modern day fantasy as well as like old style fantasy. So a lot of fun. So definitely check that out. They air on Tuesdays. They'll be starting back up in May, but they actually start right after we finish here at Ballad. They start around like 8:30. So definitely check them out. Come in May. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for coming by. We will make sure